According to Wikipedia, the force is a binding, metaphysical, and ubiquitous power. It is the supernatural flow of energy originated from the concept of prana, the all-pervading vital energy of the universe. If we understand the force to be the energy that provides life within us all and connects us all within and to the universe itself, then it would serve us well to see it for the amazing tool that it is. One would be wise to take the time to learn how to use it proficiently, as understanding the force is key to consciously communicating clearly to the universe what kind of life we'd like to live. Consider the force to be our cosmic loudspeaker or radio, and whatever station we choose to broadcast out, the universe will echo back in physical manifestations in your life accordingly, under the illusion sometimes that you had nothing to do with it at all, unless you are aware of this awesome symbiosis taking place, of course. This is how most of us fall under the guise of thinking we have no control over what happens in our lives, and is what I imagine to be a driving cause for the continuous survival of deterministic beliefs. It matters not, though, if you are aware this is what is happening, but the universe always has and always will be your life canvas, manifest delivery system, and shows up merely as replies and answers to calls you have made. If they were drunken calls made at 3 a.m., well, you know how that goes. We might see the results in the morning and wonder where we are, how we got there, and why we are broke and feel like we got hit by a truck. But if we call fully conscious and aware of what we are doing, which is simply setting intentions, building energetic foundations on which you are welcoming a certain resonance to come into your life, then we begin to see just how our lives can shift in big ways. People often get caught up in emotions, but they are simply way showers. It serves us best to not get too attached to them, and to also not try to avoid certain ones simply because they are unpleasant. What we resist persists, and if we bury certain emotions over and over, they soon start to cause distress and discord and disharmony in the body, which are setting the stage for the manifestation of, yep, you guessed it, disease. Emotions point the way as guideposts to areas of our lives that require tending to, either because they cause us undue stress, pain, and disturbance, and therefore need to be looked at, accepted, loved, integrated, and hopefully learned from, so that it can be fully healed and no longer cause disruption in our lives. Or on the flip side, things that instill a sense of connection to life, anything that gives you that woohoo feeling or makes you say holy crap, I feel alive, is indication you need to keep doing these things, because they are literally feeding your soul, replenishing your spirit, refueling your prana or force. All in balance and moderation, of course. We all know the phrase too much of a good thing. The way I see it, whatever helps to keep you centered, which is being neutral love, does incorporate and integrate both positive and negative emotions. It is only our human condition which teaches us to avoid pain and sadness. But these both can be some of our greatest forms of release, reflection, and growth. When we relinquish our judgments on our emotions, we allow ourselves to let them flow freely through us as intended, and to not sit within us, stagnant. Keeping your energy level at optimum levels is vital to being a conscious creator. When you are a natural-born giver, like myself, you tend to give of your own life force to others. This happens usually unbeknownst to you, and especially with those you care about. It can literally leave you feeling drained and horrible, even though your conscious mind will always tell you that you just did something nice or were a good friend, etc. Being empathic, it took me years to understand why helping others was such an ingrained calling, but didn't always feel good to me. I often felt selfish for even expecting it to feel good, as I thought giving is giving, you don't get anything from it. But what a lesson has come from just letting that load of nonsense go. To serve others from a fully conscious heart space, where I no longer give from my own energetic reserves, which always came with a subconscious expectation of a thank you or returned favor someday, is the most freedom I have ever felt in my life. Now when I give, it comes from a completely different place, a place that is constantly free-flowing and tapped into the love of Source. A place that does not know lack or going without, so there is no fear, and no expectations, from myself or from others. Whereas before I would even judge myself after being depleted, did I give enough? Could I have done more? Now it flows from me without even having time to think if it's enough. I think less and feel more in my giving, and this has done wonders for my relationships all around, with others and especially with me when it comes to manifesting. It all ties together in where my perception lies about how I feel about myself, and I notice the more I choose to love and accept myself, as perfectly imperfect, flaws and all, the more easily I am able to allow positive things and awesome opportunities to flow into my life. Because on a subconscious level, my perception has shifted from unworthy to worthy, and this stems simply put from originally feeling disconnected to Source, the universe, and others. When you can clearly see the connection within all things and you see how beautifully and delicately you and your life weave into this enormous cosmic web, you can rest a little easier, feel a little safer, and have a lot more trust in yourself and your world. Because you begin to take on the awareness that it is you who is creating it, and simply with that awareness comes such a rush of empowerment that I can only describe as literally dancing with the force itself. Or perhaps even surrendering to the flow of all that is. It has taken me 36 years to even muster the courage for me to say that when it comes to knowing how to manifest great things into my life, I kinda get it now. I am still a constantly evolving work in progress, and I love doing daily little life experiments to see simply how my own reaction and my own perceptions of these so-called things happening to me can alter the outcomes of these said events. And every single time I consciously choose to look at the issue at hand in a brighter light, and change my perspective from victim mode to student mode, what can I learn from this? The situation itself seems to lose steam, lose power in its ability to instill fear and panic within me. The dust seems to settle that much faster, and therefore I can also see a clearer next move much faster as well. This is beyond empowering, and something I have just caught on to, I'd say, within the last few years, and have only recently really begun to sink my teeth into, to see just how deep this manifestation rabbit hole really goes. For years and years I was under the subconscious impression that life had to be difficult, if you didn't work hard you didn't deserve anything, life does not just provide, and that if you ever put yourself or your needs first, you were selfish and that was unacceptable. But after years of being in relationships that always felt one-sided and left me utterly exhausted and drained, I realized something. I realized that things never went my way because I was always so fixated on specifics, had so many tight expectations, from myself and everyone else in my life, and if either one let me down I tended to retreat and/or withdraw. I had an underlying expectation of struggle and therefore always found myself struggling, in all areas of my life, including relationships, jobs, etc. However, a simple shift, a single seed planted in my subconscious mind that I love myself enough to create the life I want, has literally put everything in motion. As soon as I consciously began to treat myself better, quit smoking, eat healthier, do daily yoga and meditation, and surround myself with people who are also empowered, rather than complainers or Debbie Downers, my entire life began to shift in huge ways. New opportunities opened up that would never have shown up prior, because I never thought they were even possible due to my lack of confidence. By using the Force, I instead chose to wake up each day with a smile, as annoying as that might sound. And no matter how shitty of a day I could have been having, I was viciously aware of my perceptions and reactions to things, and was constantly on my own ass to see things through different eyes, in a more productive, positive, what can you do for me way. It's not an easy feat by any means, especially if you are used to be reactive rather than proactive. You must retrain your subconscious to let go of the reins in these vital times and let your conscious mind take the lead. By consciously choosing reactions, we are taking full responsibility for ourselves in the hugest way possible. We can no longer blame others for offending us, because we have taken on the awareness that their words really did nothing to harm us. It was our perception that caused the pain, and our reaction simply shows us now there's something there that needs to be healed. Once it no longer causes a reaction, then the work is done. Many great minds have said we have so much to learn from that which annoys or pisses us off, and I couldn't agree more. So, to sign off here, I'm going to go full Star Wars nerd on you and recommend a little Jedi mind trick I use on myself that helps with developing your conscious creator skills. Whenever you feel overwhelmed or a victim to your thoughts or reactions, simply stop in the moment, breathe deep to connect, and remember that you are not your thoughts, but the observer behind them. You are not your emotions, but the consciousness that gives them light and meaning. You are not a victim, you are a sliver of source no less than the vast and great cosmos. So, don't just sit back and admire the stars, love yourself enough to know you are one, and then be one. Shine on.